This video, I'm going to share with you how I got to 30,000. And also, I'm going to tell you what I learned to get to 30,000. I'm also going to tell you what I regret the most about getting to 30,000 steps and why you shouldn't try walking 30,000 steps. Got lazier, never really walked at all. I usually just drove the car anywhere I was going, and then that was just the lifestyle because it was cool to drive, right? Just went to the gym. So I became that guy who just lifted weights and didn't run, didn't walk, and I just lifted weights. And then I also competed in bodybuilding. So there's this thing about bodybuilding where you lift heavy weights. Once you're done lifting, you're like, I'm not doing cardio because you don't want to lose your gains. So I was kind of like in that group of people. And then my lifestyle really fluctuated from being super active, fit, to being out of shape, gaining weight, and I stopped working out. And when that happened, I realized that, well, my fitness is actually deteriorating and I was gaining weight, and so I wasn't as active. And then I would be lucky if I got 5,000 steps in a day. This past month, I did something that I've never done in my entire life. Never thought that I was going to be able to do ever in my life, like a goal that I never set for myself. Never knew that I could do it, but I've been walking 20,000 steps a day consistently for the past month. And something much more incredible happened was I went out, and originally when I was still in Winnipeg, my goal was to get to 10,000 a day, 10,000 daily steps, of which I was still hitting 9, 10, 8 sometimes. And then I was like, cool, that's fine. And then when I got to Vancouver, one day I even got to 28,000, and it made me realize that 30,000 was actually in sight and I could actually hit 30,000. So I planned out one day to hit my goal of 30,000, and this is what happened. I never used to really have a step goal. I used to just work with calories burnt. I used to work with hours standing up. I used to deal with the minutes of exercise. Those are the metrics that I used to track just on my Apple Watch. But more recently, I've been getting into tracking my steps in a day. So 10,000 was my step goal. And so I was getting into the steps. And then so when I came to Vancouver now, we set a goal of 20,000. So when we set the goal for 20,000, I was like, sure, fine, let's do it. Because in my mind, I'm like, we set a goal for 20,000. I'm going to hit 10,000 consistently. So let's go for a bigger goal. So boom. Started walking every morning, and the challenge now was, can we actually get to 20,000? That was the challenge, right? So to get to 20,000, it's a new place, it's a new environment. We kind of had to walk around, and I guess that also helps. But we came up with a plan. So every day we would wake up 6 a.m., get ready, leave the house by about 6:37, walk down the pier close to the Cole Harbour Marina to Stanley Park. We'd go to the seawall and walk around the seawall, which is about 14 Ks. So in the first couple of days, we never really used to walk around the full seawall, but we would walk probably half and then walk back. And then the one day we actually walked through Stanley Park, and then we saw the map to see where the seawall went. And we realized that it actually loops around and connects us back home. Well, I guess challenge accepted. So we figured if we wake up early in the morning, we can actually go around the seawall and get back to the house by noon. So our first walk, we actually spent almost 5 hours just walking the seawall just to get back home to get the 20,000 steps in. And that took us a while because we had to stop in some parts and just sit down. And also just because we were walking in the morning, the sun is rising. So the scenes are beautiful. You can see the water, you can see the waves. The one day we saw a seal as well. And so we just stopped, appreciate the fresh air, appreciate nature. So we've been consistently walking for about a month now. And now, because we've been walking consistently, the walks are getting easier, and our time that we take to actually get our 20,000 is actually reducing. So at 5 hours, we reduced it to 4 hours. Now we're doing 3.5 hours, and this is within a span, within a time frame of about a month, right? So this is something that we think is quite incredible for us, just the progress that we're making. And I'm also training Babatunde as well. So this is something that I'm also proud to see him progress in, just him being active and reducing the amount of time it takes him to get his 20,000. Because I was having a conversation with him and said, hey, you know what? We can get 20,000 steps. We can do one or two things. We can increase intensity, get back home in a short amount of period of time, or we could walk the whole day. But we still have work to do, so we had to realize that we had to increase our intensity. That was the piece that we had to just work on. So we're also getting strong, because the first week, actually, it was very hard. Woke up, my feet were killing me, and I was also going out to shoot some content for the YouTube page as well, with the workouts that you see posted on this channel. So that also took a lot out of me. So 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? On the days that I would go shoot content outside, I would come back after, I would definitely be over 20,000. I would be like 28,000, because I still had to go to work and shoot content. And so that actually made me realize that, hey, hitting 30,000 steps in a day isn't so bad. And it's within reach as well. So what I realized was, you know what? Let me just actually plan a day where I go shoot content closer to the seawall. When I went to the seawall, I found this gorgeous view when I shot one of the videos. I think you guys are gonna have to watch this video, but it was a beautiful scene. It was raining. There was a cruise ship also sailing off, and it was just beautiful. It's just a scene that you can't recreate. Even I walked there, I think by the time I got there, it was already at 24,000. I kept on walking, and I used the seawall to come back. And then at that point, because I've walked so far out, I knew by the time I get back, I should be somewhere close to 30,000. And when I got home, I had hit 37,000 steps in a day. So that's what happened. So a lot of people are actually curious, like, can you get lean and lose weight from just walking? And I can say absolutely, because I can definitely tell that I'm much leaner, and I also feel lighter. As probably what I've realized more so on my walks now, after walking 20,000 steps a day for the past month, is that you can actually manage your weight, help to bring me more emotional stability and just joy, happiness, and just relaxation. I think that's probably one of the things that I appreciate the most, because I feel like it's just an incredible feeling, to be honest, which you don't usually find if you're just always in the city and you're always inside. I promise you, if you start walking today, you don't have to go crazy and start walking 20,000, 30,000 steps or 40,000 steps. You don't have to do that. But even if you're just getting outside the house, just getting 2,000, 5,000, that's enough. That's enough to get you started. And don't worry about trying to track all your steps right away. Just get out the first couple months, right? Just get out, just start walking, just be outside. It's going to help you emotionally and physically too. And I think this is something that a lot of people need to start incorporating to help with their mental health and just emotional well-being. So this really helped me, and I hope this is something that can also inspire you as well to start walking, or start making it a habit, somewhat of a habit, right? So habits, the best way is just to start doing, right? Don't think about, setting a big lofty goal like I was doing. Like, I know that every time I try to set a big lofty goal, I'm probably going to fall short, because it's going to require me to do more. So that's just me personally, but I recommend you to just start walking. And a tip, something that I think you should watch out for, and I regret the most, is that the shoes that I have that I've been using to walk haven't been the most comfortable shoes. They're more for training. I would advise you to get a good pair of shoes that you can use to walk a long distance. That is the biggest takeaway for me as well. And the other thing is, when you're walking, it's going to improve your posture. Yeah, so if you walk with comfortable shoes, you're going to have better posture as well. And make sure that when you're walking with your palms facing forward as well to help with your posture. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any goals, any step goals? Let me know. I'm on Step Up. I'll share my link to Step Up so that you can add me as well, and we can connect. Remember, it's about making small changes that can lead to big improvements in your life. So take that first step today.